All right, let's dive into this fascinating world of graphics cards and gaming technology. Buckle up, because what we're about to explore might just make your head spin with excitement, but also leave you questioning, is this really what I need? So let's talk about the latest craze, the NVIDIA RTX 5070. Yes, you heard that right. It's supposedly as powerful as the legendary 4090. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, hold up, that doesn't sound right. And you're not alone. The 5070 being pitched as a direct rival to the 4090 had me scratching my head too. Historically, NVIDIA's lower tier models, like the 5070, were designed to be a bit behind the 4080s or 4090s, right? But now, the company drops a bombshell claiming that the 5070 is as strong as the 4090? That's one heck of a promise, my friends. But here's the kicker. The secret sauce behind this performance leap isn't just the raw hardware. No, it's the DLSS technology, specifically the shiny new DLSS 4. You see, NVIDIA isn't just boosting performance by cramming in more cores. They're playing with how frames are generated in your games. Enter DLSS 4, the new tech that tricks your GPU into spitting out more frames than ever before. And I'm not just talking about simple frame scaling. DLSS 4 is in a whole different league. It can generate multiple frames out of thin air, not just the one or two it used to. That's why we're seeing these jaw-dropping FPS figures in the presentations. But wait, there's more. While DLSS 4 is shiny and all, there's a bit of sleight of hand going on here. You see, the RTX 5070 and the 4090 aren't being tested in the exact same conditions. The 4090 uses DLSS 3, while the 5070 uses the new DLSS 4, and that's a crucial difference. The way each of these technologies work could make or break the argument that the 5070 is truly as powerful as the 4090. But let's not get too caught up in the technicalities just yet. After all, we're here to explore if FPS is really the be-all and end-all of gaming performance. Now let's talk about that price tag. Everyone's favorite part of any tech release, right? If you've been following the tech market, you'll know that prices for these next-gen GPUs are all over the place. The 4090 hit the market with a jaw-dropping price. We're talking close to $2,000 in some cases. It's a bit absurd, honestly. But what really gets me is how NVIDIA is able to justify these insane prices, especially with the 5070 and 5080 still relatively close in specs. Yes, they've bumped up the RAM in the 5070, but that's not exactly a revolutionary leap when you consider that the 4070 already had 12 gigabytes of RAM. The question on everyone's mind is it worth it? For the hardcore gamers, probably yes. But for the average Joe who just wants to run the latest titles smoothly at high settings, maybe not so much. The truth is, NVIDIA is pushing these prices to the max, and we're all feeling the squeeze. But hey, who can blame them? Supply and demand, my friends. Especially with those shortages from certain parts of the world affecting supply chains, it's clear that getting your hands on these GPUs is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Speaking of supply, let's shift gears for a second. We've all heard of the global shortage of GPUs, right? That's right, the 4090 and even the 3090 were some of the hardest cards to find. And you can bet that the reason isn't just the tech inside. It's the global politics and the economic chess game that's playing out. You see, with countries like China facing restrictions, they're turning to resellers in places like India and, you guessed it, Vietnam, to grab their hands on these elusive graphics cards. So the price keeps creeping up as demand stays high and supply remains limited. And while we're on the topic of prices, let's talk about the reality of buying these cards in places like Vietnam. You'd think that with the release price of these GPUs in the US, they would be somewhat reasonable, right? Well, think again. By the time these cards hit the shelves in Vietnam, the prices are marked up by 3 to 5 million VND, sometimes even more. We're talking about 60 million VND for a 4090. That's a lot of cash, especially when you consider that these cards might not even give you the performance upgrade you expect. Now, let's throw AMD into the mix. It's always fun to see how these two giants go head-to-head, isn't it? NVIDIA has been dominating the GPU market for a while, but AMD is not sitting idly by. The The thing is, AMD has been focusing more on enterprise-level hardware and less on the gaming side of things. Sure, they've got some great GPUs, but they're not exactly the talk of the town when it comes to gaming. So, with NVIDIA launching these powerhouse cards, AMD is playing it cool, waiting to see how the dust settles before making their next move. And then there's Intel. Yes, Intel. While you might think they're out of the running in the GPU race, they've got some cards up their sleeves. They've been quietly working on their own gaming GPUs, but the focus has been more on providing solid performance in other areas, like system-on-chip designs and networking hardware. It's interesting, because Intel has always been about providing the infrastructure that makes the rest of the tech world tick. While AMD and NVIDIA are duking it out for your gaming rig, Intel is busy powering your routers, your smartphones, and your laptops. At the end of the day, the question remains, do you really need that insane FPS? Sure, it's fun to watch your FPS counter fly off the charts, but is that what really matters? What if you're just trying to enjoy your games without emptying your wallet in the process? Maybe the real question isn't about whether the 5070 can keep up with the 4090, but whether you even need that level of power in the first place. So, when it comes down to it, here's what I think. NVIDIA's pushing the boundaries, but they're also pushing our wallets to the limit. And as much as I love to see innovation, I can't help but wonder if all these crazy numbers are just a way to sell us on something we don't really need. And there you have it. I hope this deep dive into the world of GPUs, gaming performance, and tech pricing has given you some food for thought. Are we really getting what we need with these cards, or are we being swept away by the hype? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to think twice before splurging on that next big upgrade.
At the end of the today, it's not just about the destination, it's a journey that makes it all worthwhile. So whether you're just starting or will on the way, remember every step counts and every moment had a lesson to offer. If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the later update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.